If you're a Red Sox fan, or if you're rooting for the Red Sox to suck in 2024, no worries, because either way, this video is for you. I'm a Red Sox fan myself, and the news that we've got as of recently is actually pretty scary. As we know, the Red Sox have been in a rebuild since 2020. In 2020, the Red Sox decided to go into a new direction with a new GM. That GM was Chaim Bloom, and he was brought here to be the guy to rebuild the farm system. Of course, he came into a situation with the worst farm system in baseball. He was with Tampa Bay for quite a long time, and as we know Tampa Bay, they always have one of the best farm systems in all of the sports, so that's what he ended up doing to Boston, and that is exactly what they wanted him to do. He ended up building a top 5 farm in baseball, but he only had one winning season out of 4. No matter how good the farm system is, if you're not winning, there's an issue. And as I said, he was brought here for the sake of the farm system, and he hesitated at times to make the right move for the major league team. He catered to his prospects. He didn't care about anything else. He didn't spend enough money, but that wasn't the only issue. The main problem that we had in his tenure was that they did not focus on pitching at all. We do not currently see a pitching prospect in the Red Sox system that is ranked very, very high. And this has left the Red Sox in a very weird spot, and it isn't just the prospects either. I mean, he never ever spent on a big money starting pitcher, ever. During Chaim's time, he brought in Trevor Story and Masataka Yoshida. Those were his 2 big signings of his time, but he never actually brought in a true starting pitcher. Look at the Red Sox resume since 2020. They signed Rich Hill, Michael Wacha, James Paxton, and Corey Kluber. The only guy who was actually good out of that bunch was Michael Wacha. Wacha had a 3.32 ERA with the Red Sox, but they ended up letting him walk after only 1 season. And that very same offseason, they also lost Nathan Eovaldi. Not to mention, he was really, really good. And he was also really, really good at the Rangers. So it just ended up being such a huge loss, losing Wacha and Eovaldi in the same offseason. The Red Sox chose the route of offense over the route of pitching. In 2022, Story was bad, and in 2023, he was injured. Yoshida, on the other hand, had a good rookie year, but he has a lot more to go ahead and do, of course. But the Red Sox pitching problems were just way too big to overcome, and you know what? That's what's going to happen whenever you just go ahead and sign Corey Kluber over signing Michael Wacha or over signing Eovaldi. Just ridiculous. They placed 5th place in the AL East, and they had a record of 78 and 84. They sucked. Red Sox fans have been fed up for quite a while now. Boston is one of the biggest markets in the entire sport, yet the ownership just treats a team like they're a middle-of-the-pack average Joe. After Bloom was fired, they hired a new guy, Craig Breslow. Of course, Breslow won the World Series as a pitcher with Boston back in 2013. He's a guy who knows what it's like to win in Boston, and when he was hired, he emphasized that starting pitching will be the Red Sox top priority. And again, we saw Corey Kluber make the opening day start last year, so that just tells you that it definitely should be the priority, and that's a good thing. As of right now, the Red Sox have Brian Bayo, Chris Sale, and Cutter Crawford. They will all be in the rotation in 2024, so this means that Boston needs a number 1 and a number 2 pitcher. This free agency features names all across the board, but what is the Red Sox true plan this offseason? Many have suggested that they should sign a player like Yamamoto or Blake Snell or even a Jordan Montgomery, but the Red Sox have other plans. Winter meetings began today, and Craig Breslow met with the media and discussed what he's aiming for this offseason. He continued to talk about how starting pitching is the point of emphasis, and he also implied something else, but this thing is not good. During his time talking here, he pretty much just said that guys like Tanner Houck and Garrett Whitlock will have a big role with the team next year. What it felt like he was trying to say to us is that the Red Sox have talent in the organization, and those guys have to improve and develop, which I would say is the rather conservative approach to all of this, considering that the Red Sox have got to be aggressive if they want to win. The winter meetings are about making moves, not talking about your own guys who will be improving, and then implying that, of course, we already have a good pitching staff, because that's just not the case. Reports have already been pretty rough regarding the Red Sox, and they said that the Yankees are the favorites to land Yamamoto. The Red Sox need Yamamoto, but no, the Yankees are all over him, and honestly, there really hasn't been much of a player that the Red Sox are all over. We got a report that the Red Sox are in, I guess, on the former Yankee Herman. Yeah, you know, Domingo Herman, the woman beater, the former Yankee. I mean, he's awful. Not only is he an awful player, but he's not a good person. They've also shown interest in adding Seth Lugo. Lugo's good, right? He's 34 years old. He was good, but he's not an upgrade that the Red Sox need. To win in baseball, you need sustainability and you need an ace. You need a superstar in your rotation. The Red Sox simply just did not have any of that last year and do not have it now. Meanwhile, the Yankees are fixing to make a big move anytime now, whether that be Soto or Yamamoto. The Blue Jays are also in on Soto and might even add Shohei Ohtani. Those two teams are looking to get a lot better this offseason, and the Red Sox are just sitting ducks doing nothing. Alex Cora, of course the manager, had a very similar press conference as well. He took the conservative approach, not saying really too much at all, and just talking about how the Red Sox current guys have just got to be better. I would deem the Red Sox offseason a failure if they don't have two starting pitchers. I mean, they need an ace, and a good two, a matter of fact. If a good two doesn't happen, I wouldn't mind a good three pitcher, but we have not seen Boston go after a starting pitcher in a while, and of course the last one was a one-year deal with Corey Kluber. He had a 7 ERA, so it is just about as bad as this all sounds, but we've also heard some good news coming from Boston. Breslow has emphasized, and reports have also backed this up, saying that Boston plans on adding controllable pitchers. They do not want a pitcher who's going to be coming in and only pitches for 1 or 2 years. They want a controllable pitcher who contributes in the long run. They don't want to have a player who only stays with the team for a year or two, and I think that this is big. The good thing for Boston is that several of those guys are on the market, and you know what? If you want to go ahead and make a trade, you want to get better, you have to call the Mariners and try to get Logan Gilbert. Throw a bunch of guys at him, right? Alex Verdugo's on the trade block. We could see Jarren Duran get traded. Of course, Breslow has also said that the Red Sox are not afraid to go ahead and trade a bunch of position players in order to get pitching. This is the way you do it. Go and get Gilbert. This is a very, very reliable option. He's really not got injured at all and is always on the mound. He's also very, very good. I mean, you just can't go wrong with this. We also need a free agent signing where the Red Sox spend money. Show us that the ownership still slightly cares. If the Red Sox went ahead and traded for Gilbert and they signed a pitcher, this would be a good offseason already, and it shows that the Red Sox will win. But let's be real, I mean, pitching is not the only problem. Second base is quite the hole for the Red Sox, and we saw a lot of different guys play for Boston in 2023. You saw Christian Arroyo at second base. He was awful. You saw Pablo Reyes and Manuel Valdez and a little bit more, but who is the guy actually going to be? So far, it seems like the Red Sox are taking the approach of waiting for one of their prospects to come up and play at second. But in the meantime, we could see Whit Merrifield or, something like that. They've already shown that they will not be making any sort of big move at second base and plan on going with some sort of a subpar option. And again, it's just so tough to be excited right now. With the way that this division's going, we all see Boston. We all see a team that does not look very committed to winning. I'm not sure how to feel, but let me know what you guys think, whether you're a Red Sox fan or not. Are you guys excited that Boston might lose next year? Or do you think that they will be good? Let me know what you guys thought. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already, and peace out.